Hello, our next speaker is Linda Perks, who's the Unison Regional Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and thank you for inviting me to speak today. I'm really pleased to be here. And before I say anything else, I'd just like to let the members of Unison know from Fremantle that Eddie Coulson, their regional officer, spoke to me this morning and asked me to convey his best wishes. He's off ill at the moment, but he wanted me to convey that he's with you here in spirit and still behind your campaign to win the campaign dispute. I think the first thing I'd like to say on behalf of Unison Region is that we want to pay tribute to the 150 Fremantle workers who have stood up against Fremantle and fought this campaign. Because you've been fighting now for long over 12 months. It's Christmas when they announced they were going to take the money away, April when they did, and you've stuck in there. And you've stuck in there to campaign, I think, not just for yourselves, but as Andrew said, for the service and for the clients. And you could have chosen to walk away and leave the service, but you've decided to dig in and defend your rights and the rights of the elderly. And that means a lot to us and to the people here. And also as well, I'm sure there's some clients and some residents, relatives here, and we'd like to thank you and the residents of Barnet for supporting this campaign, because we know that this isn't just about paying conditions of staff, although that's very important. It's about making sure that care for the elderly is properly funded in Barnet, and that's something that we need to defend. But I'm not here just to thank people, I'm also here to condemn people. Unison is disgusted with Fremantle and Catalyst Housing for the abject way in which they've failed to see through their responsibilities. They took this contract over saying that they would honour the pay and conditions of the staff. We all probably have our suspicions that they calculated that you'd leave, and that when they put the package together they calculated you'd go and they could employ people on cheaper terms and conditions, and you've called their bluff. But irrespective of that, they've messed up the contract, they've failed to manage it properly, and then when they've got themselves into a real mess around their finances, instead of looking to themselves to sort it out and looking to the people who should be sorting it out, they've passed the pressure down to the people who can least afford to turn away, and they've just forced the cuts on you, the workers, and that is not acceptable, and we must stand up and fight and resist them. Like Andrew, though, as well, I also want to condemn the council. The council sat on the fence. It's claimed it's got nothing to do with them. It's claimed it's the problem of Fremantle and Catalyst and for the union to sort it out with them. And they don't want to talk to us about it. But the truth of the matter is, they handed this contract over 5 years ago. They put faith and trust in Catalyst and Fremantle to deliver these services, and they took the opportunity in doing that to save the costs that they were going to expend and to just pass on the responsibility to somewhere else. So it's time they came off the fence, it's time they recognised their responsibilities, and it's time they agreed to talk to the union and the workers about how they're going to help us sort it out. We're trying to make contact with the council now to sit down and talk to us, and we're going to persist with that. And then one of the messages I'd like to get out from today is that it's the council's responsibility to help sort this out, as well as Fremantle and ourselves. And so, I don't want to take too long, John, because we've got a long list of speakers, but what I do want to say before I go is that Unison congratulates the workers for standing up in this fight and supports you in doing that. We congratulate you for organising today's event. It's a successful event, and it's brought in a lot of supporters from around the community and outside the community. We support you in your struggle. We back you in campaigning to have a decent day's pay for a decent day's work. And we're behind you all the way, and good luck with the campaign.